There's a question that sits quietly in a lot of parents' minds. Did I miss something? Is it too late now? Maybe your child is older. Maybe the signs weren't obvious before. Maybe someone just recently pointed something out. And now you're wondering, should I have known earlier? Did I wait too long? Today, we're going to talk about what a late diagnosis really means and whether it's something you need to worry about. Here, we talk about autism and the questions that don't always have simple answers, but matter deeply to families. Quick reminder, we are not medical professionals. Always consult a qualified professional for individualized guidance. Today's topic is one that carries a lot of emotion: late diagnosis. Ready? Because this is Kind Parent Collective. Less perfect parent, more real one. What does late even mean? Let's start with something important. There's no single definition of late diagnosis. For some families, late means after toddlerhood. For others, it means school age. For some, it's teenage years or even adulthood. Autism doesn't suddenly appear at a certain age. It's always been there, but the recognition of it can happen at very different times, and that timing depends on many factors. Why some children are diagnosed later. There are many reasons why a diagnosis might come later. Some children have more subtle traits. They may communicate well early on. They may meet developmental milestones. They may adapt in ways that mask challenges. In other cases, environments play a role. A structured home environment may support the child in ways that hide certain difficulties. But as demands increase, especially in school or social settings, those differences become more noticeable. So a later diagnosis doesn't mean something was missed. Sometimes it means the environment changed. Masking and adaptation. Many neurodivergent children learn to adapt, to observe others, to copy behaviors, to fit into expectations. This is often called masking. And while it can help a child navigate certain situations, it can also make differences harder to see, especially from the outside. A child might seem fine in structured settings, but feel exhausted afterward. So when a diagnosis comes later, it's often because the effort to mask becomes harder to sustain. The moment of realization. For many parents, there's a moment when things begin to click. Not all at once, but gradually. You start noticing patterns. You connect past behaviors with present ones. Things that once felt separate start to make sense together, and that moment can bring mixed emotions: relief, confusion, guilt, validation, all at the same time. The fear of missing the window. One of the biggest worries parents have is this: did I miss the early intervention window? There's a belief that support is only effective if it happens very early. But the truth is, support is helpful at any stage. Yes, early support can be beneficial, but it's not the only time growth can happen. Children and people continue to learn, adapt, and develop over time. Support is not limited to a specific age. What a diagnosis actually does. A diagnosis doesn't change your child. It doesn't create something new. It gives context to what's already there. It helps explain patterns, struggles, strengths, sensitivities, and that understanding can guide support in a more meaningful way. When parents feel guilt. When parents feel guilt. It's very common for parents to look back and think, I should have noticed earlier. I should have asked more questions. I should have done something sooner. But hindsight is always clearer. At the time, you were working with the information you had. You were responding to what you saw. And that matters. Parenting isn't about catching everything early. It's about responding as you learn. Late diagnosis can still be empowering. For many families, a later diagnosis brings clarity. It explains things that didn't make sense before. It opens the door to support. It shifts the way behaviors are understood. Instead of asking, "What's wrong?" you start asking, "What does my child need?" And that shift can be powerful. Support isn't limited by age. Support doesn't expire. Skills can be built at different stages. Understanding can grow over time. And the right support at any age can still make a meaningful difference. Because development isn't a race, it's a process. Every child's timeline is different. It's easy to compare timelines, to wonder how your child's journey fits alongside others. But development doesn't follow a single path. Some children are identified early, others later, and both experiences are valid. There's no one correct timeline. What matters most? Moving forward. The question isn't, "When should I have known?" It's, "What can I do now?" Understanding your child's needs, advocating for support, adjusting expectations. These are the things that make a difference going forward. You didn't miss your chance. If you're hearing this and feeling like it's too late, it's not. You haven't missed your chance to support your child. You haven't missed your chance to understand them more deeply. You're here now, and that matters. When it's time to seek clarity. If you're currently wondering whether your child may be on the spectrum and you've been unsure about seeking an evaluation, it's okay to take that step, not out of fear, but out of curiosity and care, because having more information can help guide your next steps and give you more confidence in how you support your child. If you've been asking yourself, "Is it too late?" the answer is no. Here at Kind Parent Collective, we believe that understanding your child doesn't have an expiration date. There's no perfect timeline, no exact moment you were supposed to know everything. There's only the moment you're in now and what you choose to do with it. You didn't miss your chance. You're still showing up. And that matters more than timing ever could. And if today was rough, you still did enough. Catch you on the next one.